It's the story of my health, and it's called Sick to Death because I am. I am mad as hell at the medical industry and all the craziness that has gone on with it. So what I have discovered is that I have had thyroid disease my entire life, but I wasn't diagnosed till I was 32, and my thyroid went berserk. And then after that, I drank radioactive iodine, my thyroid was killed, and I was prescribed Synthroid, which I took for 20 years. Synthroid and other levothyroxine brands. And it kept me sick. And when I moved back to New Orleans from New York, I discovered that there was this wealth of information that was already known about thyroid disease. I mean, had been known for decades.
Where did you find that?
I found it in a medical book and a doctor. And I realized that the entire medical system has completely fallen down on the job relative to this illness, which is huge. It's absolutely huge. And it impacts, hundreds of millions of people. And of course, it's predominantly women. So I was really okay when I thought it was just me and I was like, I can deal with my own shit. But when I realized that there were so many other people involved, I was like, fuck it. I'm going after the pharmaceuticals. I was an activist first, from birth. I've always had social justice leanings, inclinations, behaviors my whole life. And then I picked up a Super 8 camera in 1991 or 1990, something like that. And I realized I had a weapon. And because my mouth is big, I like to reach a broad audience, and film is good in that regard. Everybody should be reading the information because there is a gigantic percentage of people, probably 60% of people, that are not diagnosed at all. People go their entire lives never figuring out what's wrong with them. And one of the reasons is because there's so many symptoms to thyroid disease, and that's because there are thyroid receptors throughout the entire body. So you can have a low thyroid response in your eyes, in your skins, in your knuckles, in your heart, in your organs, but it's actually really easy once you start looking at the symptoms, and once you begin to understand it, it's very easy to pick out. I diagnose people all the time, which I find really hilarious because I have a severe case of brain fog, and doctors who are educated, can't diagnose people, but I can. And then I'm accumulating a whole bunch of research, and eventually I want doctors to be able to go to my website, read the research, and get CME credits, and also just for watching the movie, because I want the movie to be in medical schools. I want it to be in traditional movie outlets. I want it to be as everywhere as it can conceivably be.
So I guess I'm wondering, has being an activist around hypothyroidism, has that been a healing process for you for this?
It's been annoying and it's been great because it's a very strange world I'm straddling, where I'm exposing what feels to me like my most vulnerable self, and I am inundated with myself, which is really annoying. And it's extremely hard work, and so I spend an enormous amount of time working and less time on self-care than I would normally. And at the same time, I'm meeting the most significant people in the thyroid world and getting better help than I've gotten anywhere else. So it's this very weird juxtaposition of amazingness, and I'm super grateful to be able to do it and to be able to help other people from the beginning. And I would really like to be done so I could quit looking at me. 90% of people that have thyroid disease have the autoimmune version, and if you have the autoimmune version, then your body doesn't convert T4 to T3, and T4 is what all the levothyroxine drugs are. So you're taking a medication and it does nothing for your body. Your body doesn't do with it what it's supposed to, basically. And then above and beyond that, I employ great food.
As you have gone through the process of researching and finding out all that you can, and then started to build your movie, has there been anything that has surprised you or shocked you to find out?
Well, I was incredibly shocked to realize that all the information pre-existed. I was shocked and really pissed when I realized how easy it would have been to diagnose me if somebody had ever looked at a medical book. And then I was shocked to realize that there was this medication that had been around since the turn of the last century and that was very effective. And then I was shocked to realize, how many prescriptions were written for levothyroxine drugs. And then I was shocked to realize how much the pharmaceuticals had impacted my life without me realizing it at all. And I think that's true of most Americans. I think we understand that there is this kind of big evil, that's on the periphery of our world. But when you really start looking at it and you realize that it's actually impacting your own daily life, and I don't mean just mine, but I mean, like everybody's daily life, that is quite shocking.
I want to say I'm sorry that the process let you down. I don't know if anybody's ever said that to you, but I think it's important for everybody to be acknowledged around how difficult it is to get the help that you should have gotten.
You're not the pharmaceuticals, and you're not the corrupt medical schools or the corrupt associations. That they are the ones that are letting us down, and they are the ones that don't acknowledge the impact that they're having on people's lives. I mean, people are dying. This is not nothing. People are living lesser lives. They're dying younger than they should. Almost every major illness that kills people in this country is directly related to thyroid disease.
And do you think the medical profession is somehow underhanded in this? Or it's hard for me. I can make the leap for pharmaceuticals. It seems hard for me to make the leap for the medical side of it.
Well, I'll give you a couple of simple examples so that will help you. Is we teach pharmacology. We don't teach natural medicine. We teach pharmacology in the schools. So if a doctor learns pharmacology, he doesn't learn how to cure. He learns how to give medicine, or she. And it's only the integrative and the alternative and the homeopathic and the naturopathic doctors that are going in another direction. And then they are targeted for going in that direction because they are in opposition to the money that the pharmaceuticals make. The other thing is if you take a nonprofit organization like the American Thyroid Association, they are the ones that release the guidelines to doctors. And their biggest sponsors are the levothyroxine drugs. And the information that they released last September was that any doctor that doesn't prescribe levothyroxine drugs can lose their license. And regardless of how the patient feels, and if a patient continues to have symptoms while they're on levothyroxine drugs, as I did for 20 years, they need a mental health referral. So to me, those are super, super clear examples of how corrupt everything is. They market all the time, and it's all in the guise of research. So it's so easy to go into a doctor's office and tell him or her, prescribe this drug, and here's this little ditty you're going to get for doing it. And it could be money, or it could be gifts, it could be anything, but some little something kickback, then they're going to do it because it makes their life easier, particularly if they're only spending 6 minutes with their client. I would just like to say that, the things that have helped me the most in life and in my health have been homeopathic, naturopathic, integrative medicine, Chinese medicine, herbs, the things that are more alternative and the things that are more curative. I try not to make it like a crazy active thing because I'm just one little chick with no thyroid. And I got shit to take care of.